This is a 1972 untitled piece by Zdzisław Beksiński. He painted what he saw in his nightmares, but he didn't find them grim at all. He thought his work was optimistic and even kind of funny. And he himself was kind, soft-spoken, and loved to laugh. But despite all that, his real life slowly started to look a lot like the paintings he made, which are perfect for this week's spooky series of haunted art. Zdzisław Beksiński was born February 24th, 1929 in Poland. He studied architecture at Krakow Polytechnic and then went on to be a construction site supervisor, which he absolutely hated, so he started sculpting using leftover building material. After realizing how much he loved it, with no formal art training, he started painting as well. In 1964, he had his first big exhibition in Warsaw and every single painting sold. Overnight, he became one of Poland's leading contemporary artists. He described his work as photographing dreams, but those dreams looked like something between Silent Hill and Hellraiser. He refused to title or explain any of his pieces and said that the viewer should decide what it means. He hated silence while he worked, so he'd blast classical music and rock and even jazz. He said, "I have this need for music to smash and tear me apart." And that music allowed him to paint for 14 hours a day without any break, standing up the whole time. But despite all the loud horror on his canvas, he was actually quite shy. He barely even went to his own exhibits. He had OCD, he rarely traveled, and at one point he stayed inside for 2 years and wrote 40 short stories. But he then locked them away until after his death because he thought they weren't good enough. But in 1998, his life started to echo his art. His wife Sophia suddenly passed away, and a year later on Christmas Eve, his son took his own life. And Beksiński was the one who found the body. After that, he pinned an envelope to his wall that said, "In case I die." No one knows what was inside it, but it was like he could feel something closing in. On February 21st, 2005, Beksiński was murdered in his apartment. He was stabbed 17 times by the teenage son of his longtime caretaker who had asked him for a loan. He was 75 years old. Today, several museums in Poland are dedicated to his work. Even Burning Man Festival built a Beksiński cross in his honor. He once said, "I paint what comes to my mind. I don't know what it means." And maybe that's why it still haunts us, because when we see how his life played out, maybe there was something in his subconscious that knew more than he thought. But I'd love to know what it means to you. So let me know in the comments, and happy Halloween.